Hello and welcome to today's IG Live. Happy Valentine's Day for those of you that are listening on February 14th. And I also wanted to extend our gift from Real Love Ready. Everything today that we offer, including our mini courses and our In Bloom tickets for the Vancouver Summit coming up April 12th, 13th, 14th, is 20% off. So if you use the code Spread the Love, you can receive 20% off. And I hope that you will join us in Vancouver or virtually from anywhere around the world for our Love and Relationship Summit that's coming up in April. So today we are joined by Sophy Singer. Sophy is the founder of Sophy Love. She is a distinguished in the field of matchmaking and love coaching. And she has a wealth of experience spanning over a decade. I met Sophy a few months ago. We were both attending the Love MBA, and it was a course put on by Rachel Greenwald, who is a friend of mine and esteemed matchmaker in the US. And we learned a lot over those 4 days about love and relationships and helping people cultivate love in their lives. So I'm going to add Sophy to the call, and she is going to answer any questions related to dating, relating, communicating, matchmaking. So here we go. I hope that you are having a great day so far, and please put your questions in the chat. Hi, Sophy.
Robin.
How are you, sweetie? Yeah, you're wearing your
I'm
art shirt.
good. How are you? It's so good to see you virtually over this little tiny screen. Oh my God.
So good to see you too. And yes, people are in the chat saying, is you put the chat, yes, please put the chat in the comment box, in the chat box. We have half an hour with this beautiful and very wise lady who is going to help us with love and relationships. So this is what it's all about, right?
What I want to do, I wore my little, my Valentine's Day sweater, but now it's cutting off my head, so I'm gonna go up this way. But I'm in the spirit of Valentine's Day. I have all my hearts on.
Me too. I bought myself some roses, and I bought my daughters some beautiful roses for their bedroom. And this is about self-love just as much as it is in partnership love, friendship. It's about friendship love. It's about all love, because love is love, you know?
Well, yeah. And it's funny because I was looking at some of the questions that came in, and the self-love, people are like, how do I find love? It's like, oh gosh, it actually just starts with self-love. Yeah. But it's really kind of I don't know, I always went through life being told you got to love yourself, and I didn't really understand it at all.
But I think there's just a lot of misconception around self-love, but we're all on the same learning journey here. Yeah. Okay, so you are based in the San Francisco Bay Area, correct?
No, I'm in Southern California.
Oh, sorry, Southern California.
That's okay. I match clients in the San Francisco Bay Area as well. So I match people all over the country, but a focus is I'm in San Diego. I work with clients all over Southern Cal, Northern Cal, and nationwide, depending on what they're looking for and what type of service they need and are best fit for. But yeah, I'm in Southern California. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm so happy that you're here for us, and time goes by so fast. So we are going to dive through these questions, and I'm watching the chat. So people, please put your questions in. Okay.
Okay.
So first one is, I went on a third date recently, and I'm really into them. We've been texting and talking on the phone, but now after the last date, it's like they've disappeared. Do you think they're ghosting me? Should I message them or take the hint that they're not interested? I'm confused because I thought we had a great connection.
You know what? This one's easy to answer, hard to do. So really, I mean, who knows? They could be ghosting you. They could not. Really, the only way to know is to ask, reveal your experience to them. I mean, you've had 3 dates. If you've been texting and talking on the phone, I mean, this comes up with my clients constantly.
Yes.
Somebody will pull back or something happens. Okay, so if you're texting and talking regularly and there's a shift, just reveal it. Hey, I noticed, I mean, it's as easy. You could do it over a text or you can hop on a call. I like phone calls better. Actually, if you can't do a phone call, voice notes. Oh God, they're so much better than texting. I encourage
Yes,
everyone
I
to use.
really like that idea. I
Oh
think that's
God,
great.
because in texting there's only the what you are saying, the content, not the how, and so
Right.
things are misread all the
Mm-hmm.
time, whereas at least when you're using your voice, you can hear the person's tone, you can express your own tone, they hear it, it has the actual human aspect of communication, which is really lost in texting. And so I would actually leave a voice note or hop on a call and say, hey, I noticed we've been on a couple dates. Feels like a really fun connection. I noticed a shift this last week. And I guess I'm just wondering where you're at, where your head's at. Does this have to do with us? Maybe you're busy. I have no idea, but I need some reassurance. And I'm wondering what you're thinking right now. I mean, I
Yep.
know it's scary because there's that like, oh my God, they're going to go running and I'm
But what do you
needing and
have to
all this.
lose?
But
Like at this point, like
you
it's either communicate from where you're at, and maybe you'll get an answer. If not, if they don't answer, then you have a
you
very
have
clear answer too.
your answer, but you have to give people a chance to meet you where you are and where with what you need. You have to give them the opportunity. I mean, something may have happened, or this person may be just like, peace out, which is really crappy. It's like
Yep.
shitty, but like you're going to know and you're not going to sit and wonder. And I don't believe in hints. I don't believe in anything being made. I believe in everything being made explicit. The less implicit there is, the more explicit there is, the deeper the connection and the better you're going to feel. It's just a little scary to ask for that initially, but once you start practicing, it gets easier.
I think that's excellent advice. Love it.
Okay.
Okay, what is a good way to tell someone you've been on one or two dates that you're not interested? Well,
Oh, I mean,
okay. I mean, this is all about dialogue, about
this
giving
is
us
just,
some words though, because
yeah.
maybe it's just like I'm sorry to say, but I'm just not interested.
You know what? I had a really nice time. It's been
Mm-hmm.
really nice sharing space and time with you, getting to know you. I just don't feel like there's, or upon reflection, you can say I'm kind of sitting with it a little bit. I don't feel like there is a strong enough connection or a romantic connection here for something long term. I wish you all the best. And yeah, I mean, it can really be simple like that, but warm and kind and not disposable and not. I hate when people go on dates and they're like, oh, I didn't text her and she didn't text me, and then they just like, you shared space, like you took time to be together. That's sacred. That's like a big deal. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I saw another question coming in about disposability culture, and I'm going to speak to that because I think that with online dating, they're like, people are shopping, right? And then they're treating it like the Starbucks they ordered on their phone. It's like, it's a human and it's your time and
Right.
space and energy. And if you show up and behave in a non-disposable way, then that's what you're going to get back to. So I think like it's so simple now with text. It's so easy, right? Just let them know. It was nice sharing time, but I don't feel a strong enough connection. That's it. Everybody's a grown up. They
Yes.
can move on.
I really like that, because I'm thinking I just think there are too many people that are not having, enough care to even
Yeah.
offer one quick text. I really enjoyed that coffee. It was nice to meet you. I'm not interested, but take care.
Right. Totally.
They might not like that answer, but it is the truth. There you go.
Like it or not, it's
But you're
your
not ghosting.
experience and you're giving them like the common. It's just like being human. People ask like, I need to learn how to date. I'm like, no, you just need to learn how to be human, your whole human self in this
Right.
context of dating. So
So somebody in the chat's asking this question,
yeah.
Sophie. When going through a breakup, is it okay to go no contact for a month as well, with temporarily unfollowing each other on socials? I still feel like, oh, sorry, I really like them and need to the process of the breakup still.
Oh,
Yes, I
okay.
think it's okay
Oh,
for no contact.
oh, but I would say yes, 100% no contact.
But
But
communicating.
let them know, hey, this is feeling really difficult for me. Even the little texts back and forth, and even having you on my social, I find myself looking and thinking, I mean, just if you can just reveal what's happening for you, I realize that the healthiest thing for me right now to move on and process this breakup is to have no contact. I'm going to do so. I'm going to set a timeline of about a month. Like you can even say, my goal is to do this for about a month. If I need to do it longer, I will. I just want to let you know so you don't think I'm just disappearing and ghosting. I care for your feelings, and this is what I need to honor myself. That's called honoring self, honoring other. You're honoring your needs, but you're also honoring the emotions and the experience of another person. So,
yes. Oh, so good. This is a very loving conversation.
just about loving everything. I mean, love
It is.
yourself.
No, it really is. When a man says he's not looking for anything serious, but acts as if you're in a relationship, should you ride it out and see if he changes his mind later? I'm 55 and I'm wondering if I'm expecting too much.
I mean, I work with 55-year-olds all the time who are looking for serious relationships. If someone tells you that they're not looking for a serious relationship, but then they're treating you like you're in a serious relationship, you should say exactly that to them. Hey, this is, and by the way, let me preface this. When you're sharing these very vulnerable, I'm just going to keep telling people to say and reveal their experience. It's going to be over and over. It's like a broken record. Reveal your experience, reveal your experience, but set the context. Okay. So, hey, I want to share something with you. It's a little uncomfortable to share, or I'm a little worried. I'm nervous to share this. Is it okay that I share this with you? Now they're not going to be caught off guard. They know, oh, okay. And they're going to be curious too. And they're going to be ready to hear something that they weren't ready because maybe you've been keeping things pretty surface level, but now you're going to get vulnerable. Hey, I know when we first met, you told me you weren't looking for anything serious, but we've been hanging out and it feels like something serious. At least it does to me. I'm curious to know if that's changed for you, or if you're still looking for something casual, because I notice myself having feelings and I'm wondering, maybe you've changed, maybe you haven't, but I have no idea. I can't operate based on assumptions. And then the key is staying in connection. How does it feel to hear that? I know that's like such a weird thing, but like,
yeah, I like that.
Does it feel like, so then you're revealing something that might feel uncomfortable for them to hear too. And now you're like asking how it felt, like the impact of your share. And so it's how it feels for them is going to give you a deeper connection with them, regardless of what the answer is. And it's going to tell you a lot. So, yeah.
And the one thing I would add to that is if this person says, I am still only wanting casual.
Yeah.
And if you, as the other person, want something more, then you need to listen to what they're telling you.
Yes.
People tell you,
Yes.
like just you have to hear what, right? For you to continue on in this lovey-dovey relationship and expect them to change.
Yeah.
Like that's just not.
Yeah.
That's a recipe for disaster.
I agree. It's like they've obviously given you mixed signals, or that's how you've interpreted their behavior, as mixed signals. I don't want anything serious, but the way they act feels serious and real. And so you're catching feelings, and here you go. I mean, you can only know if you ask.
Yes.
So you
Good.
won't know otherwise.
Okay. So you're going to be talking to us about disposability culture. What are your thoughts on the disposability culture around dating and relationships? Do you have any advice for dating this terrain as someone who seeks genuine and long-lasting connection and relationships?
Yeah. So I think dating online has created the disposability culture. I really can't point the finger anywhere else. That said, I'm not damning dating apps at all. At all. Like, I mean, but really, if you want to pull away from that, I encourage people to get out and do as much as they can in real life, in person, events, groups, Eventbrite. We put on events. Join. I mean, gosh, there's authentic relating events. There's singles. I mean, activities that you enjoy, that you're going to meet other like-minded people. I mean, these are obvious things, but you know, I think in the end, like, the dating apps aren't going anywhere. And so really how you show up, how you communicate, how you treat others, and how you know, open and vulnerable you can be in every interaction is going to set the context and give permission and actually model this behavior of treating humans and the time and space that you share together in a non-transactional way. Like, if you treat it that way, they are gonna probably follow suit. Okay, if you show up in an interview mode, like firing off your normal script and a ping pong bat, you know, they're gonna do the same. That's what everyone does, right? When you drop in, and I mean, this goes into just the way we drop, like getting out of our heads, getting into our bodies. Um, you know, when you're going, especially on the online dates, really treating, I don't know, like, treat every single date you go on as like this sacred little tiny mini relationship. It's like your time that you're going to share with another human being, regardless of the outcome. You're not there to interview them for your life as being a partner. You're there to just connect. And if you can, I think if you can just shift in that, in the literally out of the mindset into the body, that will, I think that will help a lot. And I recommend that people learn skills like, and practices like authentic relating, which is what we coach in and teach, and we have a workshop coming up. So those really help, because I did not know how to do this myself at all until about 2 years ago. So these are not things anyone taught us at all.
Is your authentic relating course available on, like, virtually, or is it just in person?
Oh, okay. It's all virtual.
Great.
Yes, it's starting on March 7th. It's on our website, sophy.love, SOPHY.love. Just go to workshops. It's called Closer to You, the Art of Conscious Dating. But this workshop will teach you all the pillars of authentic relating as it maps into all relationships in your life, every relationship. So these are the skills to really show up in, I would say, the least transactional nature possible.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Excellent. Okay. Is jumping into a relationship 2 months after breaking up with your toxic ex really that bad?
Yeah, that's tough, right? So the question kind of for me is this a pattern, right? So is this the first toxic ex this person has ever had? Is this your first toxic ex? Probably not. So most likely not. And so what I want to point out is that I don't expect, no one needs to be expected to like spontaneously break out of their bad patterns, right? So the major difference between going through patterns in autopilot mode versus going through them with like more of an embodied awareness is that as you become aware of the pattern in the background of our awareness, if you just keep going through autopilot, it's reinforcing the pattern. Just keep going, keep doing it, that loop over and over. Patterns in the foreground of our awareness are actually being slowly released and potentially healed. And so what I would encourage this person to do is to, yes, get into the relationship. It's totally fine, but be aware. And it's really hard to just be aware on your own. So have a therapist, work with a coach. We have coaches on our team that do this. I mean, really going through, because honestly, you can't, relationships and dating actually are this vehicle to healing and growth, and you can't just do it on your own. Eventually you need to be in relation, right? That's the mirror. So for this person who's asking this, it's like, okay, you're clearly aware that the last person you dated, this was toxic. You allowed for that, right? You brought that in and you stuck around for however long, and I'm so happy you broke it. And so I guess the nervousness or the worry is getting into another toxic, right? So let's have an intervention, have a support, bring in awareness. Maybe this is like your opportunity to heal the pattern. Heal the part of you that's causing the pattern to repeat over and over. And really, the best way to do that is as you are living these things, right? Like experiencing them in real time. So, yeah.
Yeah, what I would add to that is um, taking your time with this new person,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yeah.
Not jumping into all these conclusions or not, sorry, expectations.
Yes.
Or, okay, now we're doing this. Now it's time to meet my family. Oh, now it's time for a vacation. Now, like, you know how we do this, right? It's almost like Damona Hoffman's new book is called Fuck the Fairy
I
Tale.
love it.
Because it's like,
Love her.
it's like this fairy tale, like how we actually, a lot of us, like, sorry, it's culturally ingrained in us, especially like to jump into relationships and actually start moving these forward without actually taking a lot of time and space to get to know someone
Yeah.
and how you feel in different contexts and different experiences with this other person.
Yes. And also bringing our whole selves, our real whole selves, all parts of us to the relationship because it's natural. People want to bring their first date version, second, the early on version of themselves that's, polished, has certain facades. You play down, oh, I'm chill, I'm not needy. I'm like, yeah, it's all good. Guess what? Everybody has their baggage filled with their shit. Okay. Sorry, but everyone has it. And so you cannot maintain that anyways. Like that. And that's why relationships often end. They fizzle after, like, I hear this all the time. Oh, 2 to 3 months in, it just fizzled. It's like, yeah, because the real you're the two humans with all your baggage. And now you're like, okay, on to the next. Let me log back onto my app and find the next, right? But everybody has it. Like there are no people without it. So yeah, I would say take the time and really bring all parts of you and be as real as you can be in those early stages, because then you'll know, can this person hold me as I am, be with me as I am, as who I am,
Right. And I think I just have to talk a little bit more
Yeah.
about this because there is so much around toxicity in relationships and maybe our awareness of like even narcissistic behaviors with certain people in relationships and how it's like, how does this happen? How did I end up in a
Yeah.
situation that was so unhealthy?
Mm.
And I think there is this element of time. We're like, hey, it's only been 2 months. Enjoy if everything's good and you're enjoying time with this new person, keep it going. But if
Yeah.
there's red flags that keep appearing, you need to fricking pay attention.
Not just pay attention, like
Oh,
speak
oh,
about them.
yes,
Like
yes, of
say them out
course. Not
loud.
just pay attention. Like, oh, yeah, you're exactly right. Of course, you have to be addressing these red flags or like walking away.
Right. I mean, again, I hear this literally every week, at least 2 or 3 times. My clients who are already like they're dating a person we set them up with. And yeah, things come up at the beginning. Oh my God, he's overwhelmed. He's smothering me. That's a red flag. Okay, cool. Why don't you talk to him about that and see what's up? Like he may have just gotten carried away. He's really excited. I don't know. It's the red flags are just topics of conversation and potentially deeper connection. People don't realize they make so many assumptions, and just operate based on the assumptions. That's the problem. When you're making assumptions and you're not actually communicating, you are experiencing the other person based on the assumptions that you've made, and your system will search for affirmation of those assumptions. And so then eventually it fizzles, like, right? Things die on the vine. It's never been the unsaid, right? The unspoken, like just speak it.
So
Yeah.
much, so much of this is, well, this is so much about
Yes.
communication and having the hard conversations. Like you really have to.
Yes.
So, what are some tips for someone who is just starting out with online dating and looking for a long-term relationship?
Yeah. So, kind of going back to what I said earlier, first of all, try to get offline as quickly as possible. Obviously, you want to evaluate if the person's like not, make sure they're not a bot or whatever, they're real. Make it simple. You don't have to go crazy. Got hair in my mouth. Make it simple. Go grab, go for a walk, grab a drink, whatever your jam is, but get in person. Now you have to make the shift, the conscious shift, because you've been evaluating people on your phone. You've been setting parameters like you order a Starbucks. You have been looking at data points and profiles and static photos. You're dealing with a human, okay? And you're not there to interview them for life partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, lover. No, you are there to connect with another human and see what that connection feels like, regardless of the outcome. And really, it is about taking that, shifting from your evaluative mindset into an experiential place, which is in your body, in your heart. That's where connection happens. So you almost like, I guess I was just talking to Ryle about this. We interviewed him. He's our main authentic relating coach and trainer, and is going to be facilitating the workshop and wrote the book on it. And he was talking about this is like, you almost have to pretend when you get there and meet this person, like forget about the whole online interaction. It's like you just met this person randomly, organically, like you were just for the first time interacting. You're not thinking about the data points and the profile, and you're just like, oh, wow, I get to share space with this other human, and we know we're both single, so at least the context is set. You're not wondering. And there you go. So, and then I would say the other thing is practicing getting out of, and we teach this, the 3 levels of conversation. There's fact exchange. This is a really quick overview. Level 1 is fact exchange. Like, I am Sophie, I'm a matchmaker. I live in San Diego. Level 2 are feelings about facts. Again, so I love being a matchmaker. San Diego's great. I love this trip I took. Levels 1 and 2 are facts and feelings about facts. They exist in the future and in the past, what you felt about things that you did and what you're looking forward to. Level 3 is the relational level, which is now between you and that person. I'm noticing I'm really nervous as I arrived on this date. Okay. You're going to give that, you're literally bringing light to whatever is happening between you two in the moment. So if you want to make a date more interesting, okay, as you notice yourself maybe shutting down, or oh, I noticed they're shutting down. They probably don't even want to be here. Can I ask a weird question? How's this date going for you? Like, how is this interaction even feeling for you? I promise you it's going to get a lot more interesting when you start to focus on the felt experience in the given moment between you and that person. It's never happened before. It's unscripted always, and it's always new. So you're not in that autopilot of conversation, which everyone complains about being very sick of, rightfully so. It's draining and it leaves you with no connection. So that's my advice.
I love all of these tips for authentic connection.
Yes.
The one thing I would also say before we have to end this conversation is, wouldn't you recommend having a video chat with somebody before you get ready for a date? Like, would you not recommend that rather than going in person right away? Like, let's just say, like, over the video chat, you're like, yeah, I'm not really feeling this. Like, I'm not, like, what do you think?
It depends. I'm really torn on it, to be honest. Sometimes, yes. I would say if it's really far, you have to drive. So if it's like a really far drive or something, right? So you're thinking about meeting, but it's going to be like a 45-minute ride to even meet in between, right? Yes. Then yes. Honestly, if it's not that far and you can get out in person, I always say go in person. Yeah. I really do. There is something really different and special about in-person energy. Again, if it's convenient. I think what happens when people do a lot of video chats before dates, it turns it into an interview. Again, it's like you're like pre-screening them, which is what we do for our clients when they hire us. But the first interaction, I really prefer in person, like I said, unless it's far. Unless it's far, then yes, definitely hop on a video, see how it feels. If it's worth going, okay, now I'm going to drive 30 minutes and meet this person. So, yeah.
Oh my God, Sophie, I've loved our time. And this was so full of like excellent practical tools, tips. Like I love the prompt, like just not the prompts. These are not prompts. Like sounds very like robotic, but I love just all the dialogue and just like even like some things the recommendations you give on just how to say certain things, which where it comes down to is you're wanting to maintain authenticity
Yes.
and connection. And that's,
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. If anybody does want to learn these tools, they are actual prompts. And I know they sound weird and crunchy at first, but when you take the workshop, you actually get to practice them a ton with other people in breakout rooms and everything on Zoom. And it makes it so much easier. And you start realizing how much connection and curiosity these types of conversations bring. And again, they are skills, and it's not something that anybody really grew up learning. And so that's why I feel really called to bring this to as many people as possible, because actually this is what breeds connection and love. So thanks for having me today.
And so your website is Sophy Love.
It's Sophy, SOPHY .love.LOVE. And yes, all the stuff is there. The workshops, matchmaking, all of the things.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you again for joining us and spreading the love with you. And happy Valentine's, everyone.
Happy Valentine's. Bye.
Bye.